Hello, I'm Annie Painter. Welcome to Annie's Art Institute. Little Art Dog and I are delighted to be able to bring you some of my favorite lessons in color mixing. In fact, in the 20 or more years that I've been teaching teachers, families, and kids, color mixing has been a huge favorite. In the first 5 lessons in my color series, you'll learn to mix all sorts of oranges, all kinds of greens, and beautiful range of violets and blues in order to make your own color wheel. In lesson 5, I'll show you how that works. Today's lesson is orange, but before we begin, you must follow the studio rules. Here's what I mean. You're going to work as an artist and do your very best, and I'll show you what that means. You'll respect tools, materials, ideas, and each other, and you keep a private workspace. That way nobody bumps into your work and everyone's work is successful. Also, I'd like to suggest that we look at the materials first. I'm using a tempera paint, non-toxic washable tempera paint. I happen to have purchased Crayola brand, but if you have a brand you like, use it. I'm using, instead of true red, I'm using magenta and turquoise or cyan, which we call it. So we have a great, bright, beautiful range of 3 primary colors. So today's lesson is orange. I'm using regular easel brushes that are just stiff, inexpensive easel brushes, a plastic container for my dirty brushes, an inexpensive paper plate, and for paper, either a sturdy butcher paper, which doesn't have fireproofing on it because that absorbs too much water, or white sulfite drawing and painting paper. And I'll have a supply list that you can download on my website, so you'll know exactly what my supplies are. So let's begin. Our goal then is to make a lot of different oranges so that you have all the colors you need between yellow and magenta. You'll want to squeeze a couple of tablespoons of yellow onto your paper plate, and then about 1 tablespoon or about half as much magenta, because it's quite strong. And we always begin with the lightest color first. It just makes mixing easier. So of course we need to have a big sample of our yellow. So take a brush full of yellow and just make a big square of it on your paper. And now the fun begins. I hope you love this as much as I do. I never get tired of color mixing. Touch your brush, just barely touch it, to the magenta, pull some yellow out, and watch it start to change. Now you're trying for some light, bright yellow colors, yellow oranges. So when you get one, then there's no streaks in it. See what you've got. Make a sample. See it changing already? That's a beautiful color. So you have some of those colors in the flowers. Keep pulling that yellow out, touching it to the magenta, and watching it mix. And it just should change gently as it becomes darker. Now I'm moving into a darker yellow orange and toward the medium orange and dark oranges. Oh, that is so beautiful. It's working great. Now I'm going to get brave and start adding a little more magenta so I can get that wonderful medium orange in here that I want. I love these colors. They're so beautiful. You are going to have a great time. In fact, some of my students of all ages say that color mixing is their favorite. Of course, I'm going to do a whole series. I have a series on projects you can do with color mixing, but color mixing itself is very satisfying, and you'll love your wheel when you get it done. Now I want to get a dark red orange. So I need lots of magenta. Oh, look at this. This is great. Aren't those beautiful? This is a wonderful range of oranges, but we're missing something. With this set of primary colors, you can actually get a true red, or like a flag red. That is a little tricky though, so what we're going to do is to try to squeeze all of the paint we can out of the brush, so there's no yellow showing, or not much, and dip that brush back into the pure magenta. So we basically have magenta with red-orange brush, and that should make as close as we can get to a real red. And there we are. Not bad. I'm going to even try one more because I have some magenta, and see if I can get it even redder. And put it right here by this one so you can see. There we go. Now this is gorgeous. Let's see if we have what we need for a color wheel. We have pure yellow. We have yellow orange. We have dark oranges. And we have our red. And when you join me for making the purples in lesson 3, we'll get our sample of magenta. So you need to stick with me here and join me for lesson number 2, the greens, and have a colorful day from Annie's Art Institute.